When we feel overwhelmed by big, painful emotions, it could be grief, anger, sadness, or something else. Some of us have a tendency to want to run away from those emotions. Sometimes we take those emotions, such as anger, and we throw them at other people in an attempt to get rid of them, in an attempt to throw them far away from ourselves so that we don't have to feel them, so that we can escape from the pain. This never works. In fact, most of the time, it will make the situation worse, make those painful emotions worse, or turn them into something even more destructive to ourselves or to others. So what do we do when we are faced with overwhelming painful emotions? First off, breathe. You cannot physically regulate your nervous system without oxygen. When we feel threatened, we tend to breathe shallowly. It's a good practice to be aware of our breathing, and as soon as we are able to, begin deep breathing in and out. Some people find square breathing helpful. With square breathing, you pick a number. 6 is a pretty common number, and you count. 6 counts in, 6 counts hold, 6 counts out, and 6 counts hold again. You can imagine the 6 counts as the sides of a square. Practice the square breathing until you can begin to feel your nervous system coming down from its panic and overwhelm. Now, I understand that the overwhelm may be too great and that this isn't enough. Sometimes going for a walk or listening to some very soothing music can help. What we really need to do when we've been triggered by something that causes overwhelm is to sit with whatever that pain is that's causing our overwhelm. The reason why we are feeling so out of control is because there is a dissonance with our thoughts. There is an inner thought coming from our higher self that is true. And then there is another thought bumping up against it, coming from our survival self. The pain that we're feeling is coming from that disagreement or that dissonance between the two, quote, unquote, operating systems. The solution to finding our peace is in reconciling these two differing beliefs. One example of these two differing beliefs is the belief that we do not deserve compassion. The inner self believes that we deserve compassion. Now, for example, our particular survival guidance system may inform us that we deserve to be punished. Believe it or not, this survival self developed this belief as an attempt to protect us. This belief came from an attempt to align our beliefs with someone who we saw as a protector in our lives, whether it was a caregiver, a parent, or someone we loved and looked up to. We believed that punishing ourselves or allowing them to punish us would somehow keep us safe, keep us in their good graces, or satisfy their anger towards us. In time, this became a part of our survival guidance system, causing a disagreement with our true selves, thereby causing foundational pain at our core. But our inner self, our inner guidance system, always holds the truth steadily, no matter what. This inner truth is always safe from false beliefs coming from the outside. It is unchangeable. So when we feel unstable, when we feel painful emotions, it is always the result of a discrepancy between the beliefs of our inner self and our survival self. So what is the remedy? The remedy is to go into the silence until we can sit with our inner self. When we are able to sit and commune with our inner self, we will be able to absorb its truths. And the more we spend time with this inner self, the more we begin to operate based upon our inner guidance system. Eventually, the truths that our survival guidance system tells us that differs from our inner guidance system, the more those false beliefs lose power over us. Now, I know when we are just beginning in our journey of oneness with our inner selves through meditation, it can be very difficult to be able to decipher the messages coming from that inner self. If it helps you to learn to listen or at least practice these truths, you can start by using one universal truth in particular, and that is having compassion for yourself no matter what. We are all part of the one true source of love, which means we all deserve to show ourselves compassion. When we are faced with some kind of injustice or loss, we can always turn to the refuge of self-compassion. When we dwell in the truth that we can give ourselves compassion no matter what we are going through, we begin to build an inner strength. It is this inner strength that becomes the basis of all our thoughts, feelings, and actions. When we truly practice self-compassion, it is then that we will be masters of emotional regulation, no matter what storms we are facing in our lives. If we do not meet our own need for love and compassion, then we, by default, seek the fulfillment of this need in others. This becomes an expectation, and when others don't meet this expectation, we become angry or upset with them. We develop resentment for having been treated disrespectfully or unlovingly. We may struggle setting healthy boundaries. We may become manipulative into trying to get others to meet our needs. This is all based on our survival guidance system. Our need for compassion and love will never be met by others. We will feel great when we are treated well and terrible when we are treated poorly. It is unfair to others to expect them to meet a need within ourselves that we cannot even meet. This creates disharmony and conflicts within our relationships. So, in order to maintain a state of emotional regulation and calmness, it is essential to get in touch with our inner self, our inner guidance system. If you're a beginner in meditation, just practice 5 minutes a day meditating upon the concept of self-love and compassion. From there, you may be able to build up to true heart-centered meditation where you are able to clear your mind of all thoughts and just sit in the presence of your inner being, where you will become a student of truth and love. This love will eventually engulf you and manifest itself outward into all of your relationships. The world will begin to change when you, connecting to your love, the love from Source, with others who have been able to achieve this outward manifestation of pure love and compassion, not just for themselves, but for everyone else as well. Thanks for being with me, and I'll see you next time.